Hi everybody, welcome to Tangle Break. Today we're going to do this tile using the tangles flux, crescent moon, and poke root. We're going to be using the 8 basic steps of the Zentangle method. Step number 1 is gratitude and appreciation. I'm thankful for the time that we're able to take a break from our day to relax and draw. And the supplies that we're going to use are a black Micron 01 pen, a Zentangle pencil, a Tortillon, and a 3.5-inch tile. And this tile was inspired by project pack number 6 from Zentangle headquarters. So let's get started. Grab your tile and your pen, and the second step is corner dots. Step number 3 is the border. Step number 4 is the string. So we're going to start in the middle and make a spiral. And I'm just going to stop right here. Okay, step number 5 is the tangle. And we're going to start right here at the center point of the spiral and start with the tangle flux, which is just going around and making a petal and coming back to where you start, going around and just come back to where you started. And I can put one more little one in this space here. It's going around and come back in. And now I'm going to start on the other side of what we just did at the point, go all the way to the edge of the spiral, come back around. And I'm going to do this over and over until the spiral is filled in. Just turn your tile, start at the point, go around and come back in. Okay, right now that I'm at the end, I'm going to make a flux go in the other direction. And I'm going to make another one go to the right. And then I'm going to stop with one more coming out the top. Okay, so the flux has filled in the spiral. So now what I'm going to do is go back in and fill in the spaces between the flux and the spiral. So just ink it in. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put in a little detail on the flux. I'm just drawing a curved line and several little dots. And I'm going to do this on all the flux leaves. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go back to these places between the flux leaves and put in like a little hump or like a little ladybug, because this will be the start of our crescent moon. So in between each flux, we're just going to put a little hump on the inked in area all the way around, just like a little ladybug on top. And next, I'm going to put a couple more ladybugs around the end of the flux in these little crevices. And one more over here. Okay, now let's go ahead and put in an aura to make this a crescent moon. I'm going to go put one aura around each of the ladybugs that we just made, and then I'll come back around and do another aura. Okay, now I'm going to go back and do an aura around the whole thing. And on most of them, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to aura around. And then I'm just going to end it right there at the flux. And then start on this side and stop at the flux. And then start again. And then just aura all the way around to meet the other side where I have the two. Okay, next I'm going to go into the crevices, these little valleys, and do another ladybug in each of these little valleys all the way around. Okay, next I'm going to go around and put an aura on each of these ladybugs. Okay, next go ahead and put in a second aura. Next we're going to do the tangle poke root. So you draw a stem, put a little hat on it, and then draw an orb, and that's it. That's poke root. And we're just going to have them coming up randomly and fill it in. And when you can draw behind just to fill in all the space. It's a relaxing tangle to draw. So you just start with the stem, put a little hat on it, and then the orb. And it just grows in whatever direction you want it to go. So let's fill in this whole top space with poke root. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is ink in around the poke root. So just relax and enjoy coloring in the empty spaces around poke root. Okay, now it's time for step 6 to shade. So grab your pencil and we're going to start in the middle of the spiral and just put some pencil lead in here. And then around the aura of the crescent moon so that we can give it the layered look. So on the outside of the first section of crescent moons that we did, and then on the flux I'm going to go back and put a little pencil between the leaves, and then we'll spread it out with the Tortillon. Now I'm going to go on the outside of the second layer of crescent moons that we made. So then when we spread out the pencil, it'll look like it's raised above the paper. And around poke root. Okay, next for poke root, what you're going to do is where the stem goes into the orb, and then I'm making like a little C shape on the orb itself. So I'm putting pencil right where the stem goes into the orb, and then I'm making a C shape on the orb itself. Now I'm going to put in some pencil to separate the poke root where one is on top of the other. So you can see some shadow there. Okay, next grab your Tortillon and we are going to go ahead and blend it all in. Okay, so next is time for step 7, initial and sign. Grab your pen. Pick a spot to put your initials or your chop. And then turn it on the back. And this is Tangle Break. And the tangles we did today were flux, crescent moon, and poke root. And then it's time for step 8, appreciate again. And you can look at it in any direction. And I hope you enjoyed our break today. And I'll see you next time on Tangle Break. Bye for now.